Luke chapter 24. Very early on the first day of the week, the women went to the grave hole where Joseph had put Jesus' dead body. They took with them the spices that they had prepared. They found that someone had rolled the big stone away from the hole. They went into the hole in the rock, but they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus there. They did not understand this at all. But while they were thinking about it, two men appeared. Their clothes shone brightly like lightning. These men came and stood beside the women. So the women became very afraid, and they bent down low with their faces on the ground. The men said to the women, "This is a place to bury dead people. You should not be looking here for someone who is alive. Jesus is not here. He has become alive again. Remember what he said to you while he was still with you in Galilee. He said, 'It is necessary that someone should give the Son of Man into the power of bad men. They will kill him on a cross, but 3 days later he will become alive again.'" Then the women remembered the words that Jesus had said in Galilee. They left the grave hole where Jesus' body had been. They went to the 11 apostles. They told them what had happened. They also told all the other people who were with them. It was Mary from Magdala, Joanna, James's mother Mary, and other women who were with them that told the news about Jesus to the apostles. But the apostles did not believe what the women said. They thought that it was just a silly story. But Peter got up and ran to the grave hole. He bent down and he looked inside. He saw only the pieces of linen cloth that Joseph had put around Jesus' body. There was nothing else. So he went home again. He could not understand what had happened. Later on that same day, 2 of Jesus' disciples were going to a village. The village was called Emmaus. It was about 11 kilometers from Jerusalem. They were talking to each other about all the things that had happened. While they were talking like this, Jesus himself came near to them. He started to walk along with them. They saw him, but they were not able to recognize him. Jesus asked them, "What are you talking about while you walk along the road?" They stood still and they seemed to be sad. One of them, called Cleopas, answered him, "Many things have happened in Jerusalem in the last few days. Are you the only visitor here that does not know about it?" Jesus asked them, "What things have happened?" They replied, "The things that happened to Jesus who was from Nazareth. He was a prophet from God. He did many great things and he spoke powerful messages. God showed that his message was true. All the people believed him. Then the leaders of the priests and our rulers took hold of him. They gave him to the Roman ruler. They said that he had done bad things and that he ought to die. So they fixed him to a cross to kill him. But before that happened, we had hoped that he would save the people of Israel. We hoped that he would make us free again. There are other things too. Today is the 3rd day since Jesus died. After all this happened, some women in our group surprised us. Early this morning, they went to the grave where Joseph had put his body, but they did not find his body there. So they returned to us and they said, "Some angels appeared to us. They have told us that Jesus is alive." So some people from our group went to the grave where his body had been. They found everything the same as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus. Jesus then said to them, "How silly you are! You are very slow to believe everything that God's prophets said long ago. You should have known that the Messiah had to die. Only then would he return to heaven, his place of glory." Jesus then began to explain to them what Moses and all God's prophets had taught. He showed them what was written in the Bible about himself. Then they came near to the village that the disciples were going to. It seemed that Jesus would continue his journey, but they wanted him to stop there. They said to him, "Please stay in our home with us. It is getting late and it will soon be night." So Jesus went into their house to stay with them. He sat down to eat with them. He took the bread and he thanked God for it. He broke it into pieces and he gave some to them. Then their eyes became clear and they recognized him. But then he disappeared and they could no longer see him. They said to each other, "When he talked to us, it was like a fire that was burning inside us. We felt it while we were walking along the road. We also felt it when he was explaining God's message in the Bible." Immediately they got up and they returned to Jerusalem. There they found the 11 apostles and the other people who were with them. The people there told the 2 disciples, "It is true, the Lord Jesus is alive again. He has appeared to Simon." Then the 2 disciples spoke to the whole group. They told everyone what had happened to them on the road to their village. They said how they had recognized Jesus when he broke the bread into pieces in their home. While they were still speaking like that, Jesus himself stood among them. He said to them, "May peace be with you." But the whole group was very surprised and afraid. They thought that they were seeing a spirit. Jesus said to them, "You should not be so afraid. You seem to have trouble in your minds about what you are seeing. Now look at my hands and my feet. It is really me. Touch me. Then you will know that I am not a spirit. A spirit does not have a body with skin and bones. You can see that I have a real body." When he had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. This was very good news, and they were very happy. But they could still not really believe it. So he asked them, "Do you have anything that I could eat?" They gave him a piece of fish that they had cooked. While they were watching, he took it and he ate it. Then he said to them, "I told you about these things while I was still with you. Everything that God's servants wrote about me in the Bible had to happen. Moses wrote about me in his book of God's law. The prophets also wrote about me. The book of Psalms also speaks about me. And now it has become true." Then he helped them to understand God's message in the Bible. He told them, this is what it says there. The Messiah had to die. Then, after 3 days, he had to rise up and become alive again. People in every country of the world must hear God's message. They must stop doing wrong things and change how they live. When they do this, God will forgive them for all the bad things that they have done. People need to tell this message about the Messiah in Jerusalem first, then tell people in other countries. You are the people who have seen what has happened here. You must tell other people about it. Now listen. I will send you the gift that God my Father has promised to give you. You must stay here in the city until this happens. Then the power of God will come from heaven, and it will cover you. Then Jesus led the group of his disciples out of the city. They all went to a place near the village called Bethany. He held up his hands towards them all. He asked God to bless them. While he was praying for them like that, he went up away from them. God lifted him up to heaven. The disciples bent down low to worship Jesus. Then they returned to Jerusalem, and they were all very happy. All the time they were in the temple, and they were praising God.